Good morning, dear students. Myself, Ms. Deepthi from DIPS Karolbagh. In today's lecture, we are continue the reading of SPL Chapter 3, Parliamentary Form of Government. And in today's lecture, we are going to read how the government is formed. The people choose representatives through elections. So, what is an election? Election is a process through which through which we choose the our representatives, or we choose the best thing. Our representative is there. So the territory is divided into areas called constituencies. Territory means the whole country is divided into constituencies, and these constituencies are divided on the basis of population. Many candidates contest from each constituencies. One can be independent or represent a particular political party. The person constituency से खड़े होने वाला person is that he can be independent or he can be a representative of any political party which who is participating in the elections. Elections are conducted by a secret ballot system. The candidate with the highest number of votes is declared elected as the representative of that constituencies. A party which secures majority of the seat in the parliament is known as the ruling party. The parties on the opposition are called the opposition party. They check the functioning of the ruling party. So here the government is formed. The secret ballot paper is there. Nowadays we are using that EVM machine, such type of machines we are using. This is EVM machine, electronic voting machine, in which each and every candidate name is written. Its political symbol is also there, and against that there are these are the numbers. Buttons are there. If you whom you want to give the vote, just you have to push this button and your vote is casted. So this is the EVM system. This is the latest form of giving vote in India. So the all people give their vote. After giving vote, the votes are count, and the person, the single person who has who has got the maximum number of vote win the election of that particular constituencies. And afterward center goes center में with the if the elections is conducted for the Lok Sabha, then we check in the Lok Sabha which party is getting the maximum number of seat in the Lok Sabha. If the elections are of the legislative assembly, then also we are going to see the which political party is getting the large number of representatives in the house. So the largest large number of seat the party we are getting will is known as the ruling party, and the other parties who does not get the majority seats in the house, they are known as the opposition party. And these opposition parties plays an important role in the democracy, as they check the work of the government and help the government to work according to the constitution. Next is the election commission. It is a very important office. Election commission is the body which is responsible to conduct elections in India, and it is headed by the 3 election commissioners. Election Commission perform the following functions. Number 1, it fixed the date of election. Number 2, it allotted constituencies. Number 3, or it prepares electoral rolls or set up the polling booth. Number 4, it provides ballot paper or electronic voting machines, which are known, we call it EVM, through which the voter register their vote. It also declare the result after counting the votes in counting of vote is over. So here is the boxes there in which they have written that Ballot boxes were used for polling booth to collect the ballot papers. It was a box, iron box. It was a box in which ballot papers were was put in used to put these election these ballot papers. So these were the all these things which we required for the election day, and before elections all these things or functions are done by the election commission, and it is an independent body. It is not coming under anyone. It is an independent body and it works independently. Powers of the parliament, it's a very important thing. The parliament has legislative, executive and financial power, and also the power of amend the constitution. Amend the constitution. Parliament is the legislative. Legislative means law making authority. It having executive, how it has the power to execute the law which is made by him, and it also have the financial power to budget bill are cleared here. So all these things are in the hand of parliament, as well as it can make amendments change in the constitution. So, in our constitution, as we know, it is a living document. Living document means we can change it according to our time and needs. We can change the laws which are not in use. We can close them and make a new laws according to the time or according to our needs. So that is why our Indian constitution is known as living document, and amendment is possible in India. Legislative power. The parliament has following legislative power. It can pass law on the subjects in union, state and concurrent list. Number 2, it pass ordinary bills, money bills and amendment bills. We have already discussed regarding these two activities of the powers of the Lok Sabha parliament. All the bills can be introduced in any house except the money bill, which can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. Approval of both houses is needed for the bill to become a law. In case of any conflict, a joint session of both houses is held in order to discuss and resolve the issue. All types of bill can be introduced in any house. Whether you can introduce in the Lok Sabha, whether you can introduce in the Rajya Sabha, but both houses that bill has to be needed to be approval from both houses. But one more thing is the money bill. The incoming and outgoing of the money, that money bill can only be introduced in Lok Sabha. First discussion will be held in the Lok Sabha. If it is cleared from the Lok Sabha, then it will go to the Rajya Sabha. This is very important thing we should know about it. Financial power. Parliament controls the finance of the country. It prepares the budget for the year. It also prepares the financial bill with the proposal for taxes which has to be approved by the legislature. So finance हमारा government का incoming, outgoing, everything we have to see in the finance bill. How does a bill become a law? Bill pass through various stages in the Lok Sabha before it become an act. First stage, the minister or member of parliament can introduce the bill and explain its objectives. If the house accept it, then it is passed to the next stage. Second stage, a general decision on the bill take place. There is a clause by clause discussion on the bill. Then the bill is put to vote and it gets passed from the third stage to the third stage. In the third stage, minor errors are rectified and bill is put to vote, and finally it is passed with a simple majority. And in this way the bill is a bill become a law. These are the three stages. If a bill cross all these three stages, it will become a law. The bill has then goes to the next house and it undergoes the same stages as in the lower house. After approval, it's sent to the president for his signature. Then the bill becomes an act. The president cannot withhold its assent. It can, in case of any deadlock, it is resolved by a joint session, both houses. A money bill can introduce only in the Lok Sabha. The Rajya Sabha cannot hold the bill. It has to be written the bill within 14 days and then it is sent to the president for the signature. There is no provision for joint session for clearing the money bill. See, a short thing is that money bill is introduced in the Lok Sabha, and if there is conflict between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, so there is no provision written in the constitution that joint session can be called for the money bill. Rajya Sabha has to clear the money bill as the Lok Sabha has cleared it. This is the fact. Why the Lok Sabha has so much power? Because Lok Sabha is the Sabha which house of representatives. So that is why the Lok Sabha has such power, more power than the Rajya Sabha. Executive. A council of ministers is collectively responsible to the parliament. They might be questioned about their policies and programs of the government. In case of an amendment of the constitution, 2/3 majority of the both houses is needed, and both houses have equal right on such amendments, equally on issue. Especially on issues of international nature. The president and the vice president can be removed from the office by the parliament by following a process called impeachment. The executives can even recommended to the president about the removal of judges and election commissioners. So yeah, executive powers are there, that the council of ministers, the prime minister and the other senior ministers are collectively responsible to the parliament. They have to give the answers to the parliament about their work. They can be asked question and they have to give the answers. And if they want to do some amendment in the constitution, that is there is a process according to which 2/3 majority of both houses is needed. Whereas we can change the president if we are not satisfied with the work of the president or the vice president, then also we can remove them. But there is a process that is known as impeachment. We have to follow it. So we can the president also remove the election commissioner and the judges of high courts and supreme courts. He can do this thing. These are the some executive powers of the parliament. Thank you very much. In next lecture we are going to do the back exercise of this chapter. Thank you.